The leather journal sits on Min-jun's desk like evidence at a crime scene. Naomi's stomach drops when she sees it. Her private diary, the one she keeps hidden in her bedroom dresser. The one where she writes things she'd never say aloud. Heat floods her face as his dark eyes lift to meet hers across his home office. Expression unreadable. "Sit down," he says quietly. "I can explain." "Sit." She sits. 2 months earlier, the Seoul women's shelter smells like industrial cleaner and desperation. Naomi Carter sorts donated clothing in the basement, her hands moving automatically through piles of shirts and jeans. Above her, footsteps creak. The women upstairs trying to rebuild lives after violence, after loss. She understands. 6 months ago, she was sleeping in her car outside Atlanta, running from an ex who couldn't accept the word no. Korea was supposed to be a fresh start. Teaching English, anonymity, distance from everything that hurt. Instead, she ended up here, volunteering at the shelter while her work visa processed, sleeping on her friend's couch, stretching everyone until it screamed. "Naomi." Director Park appears at the basement door, nervous energy crackling around her. "Someone's here to see you." "Me?" Just come upstairs. Please." The man waiting in Director Park's office doesn't fit the space. He's all sharp lines and expensive fabric. Charcoal suit probably worth more than the shelter's monthly budget. Dark hair styled with careless precision. A face that belongs on magazine covers. Korean, mid-30s, carrying himself like he owns not just the room but the entire building. His eyes lock onto Naomi, and something flickers in their depths. "Miss Carter." His English is perfect, accent barely noticeable. "My name is Kang Min-jun. I have a proposition for you." Director Park looks like she wants to disappear into the walls. "I'm not interested in. I need a live-in tutor for business English." He cuts through her refusal like it's irrelevant. 6 days a week, 4 hours daily. Room and board included. You'd stay in my penthouse. Salary is $5,000,001 monthly. Naomi's brain stalls. That's nearly 4 times what she'd make teaching English at a hagwon. That's too much. It's what the position is worth. He slides a card across Director Park's desk. "You came recommended. I'm told you're educated, trustworthy, and need secure housing. I'm offering both." "Recommended by who?" "Does it matter?" His expression remains neutral, but his gaze is intense, weighing her. "I've done my research. You have a master's degree in literature from Emory University. You volunteer here 3 days weekly. You're running from something. Don't worry, I'm not interested in your past. Only your skills." Red flags wave frantically in Naomi's mind. This is too convenient, too perfect. Men who look like him don't hire women who look like her for innocent reasons. "What exactly do you do, Mr. Kang?" "I run a private investment firm. My business requires impeccable English for international negotiations." He stands, and she realizes he's tall, commanding. "Take 24 hours to decide. Director Park has my contact information." He's gone before she can respond. Director Park exhales shakily. "Naomi, be careful with him. You know him?" Everyone knows Kang Min-jun. She looks genuinely frightened. His family is powerful. Old money, old connections. There are rumors about what his investment firm actually does. "Then why did you recommend me?" "I didn't." Director Park's voice drops. "He showed up this morning asking about you specifically. Said he'd donate 50,000,001 to the shelter if I arranged this meeting." The money appears in Naomi's account 3 days later, first month's salary, advance payment before she's even started. She should be suspicious, should walk away. But her friend's couch is growing increasingly uncomfortable. Her visa situation is precarious, and the shelter's basement has started feeling like a tomb. She texts the number on his card. "I accept the position." The response is immediate. "Car will collect you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Bring everything you own." The penthouse occupies the entire 48th floor of a building in Gangnam. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook Seoul like a kingdom laid out for inspection. Everything is leather, marble, and minimalism, beautiful and cold. Min-jun is waiting in the living room, suit jacket discarded, sleeves rolled to reveal forearms that shouldn't be distracting but absolutely are. "Your room." He opens a door to a bedroom suite bigger than most apartments. King bed, private bathroom, a desk positioned by windows with impossible views. You have complete privacy. Lock works from inside only. "Where's your room?" "Other end of the penthouse." He's already walking toward his office. We maintain professional boundaries. You're here to work, not entertain. The edge in his voice suggests someone made that assumption before. Mr. Kang Min-jun, we're living in the same space. He pauses at his office door. Lessons start tomorrow at 10. I've left materials on your desk. Make yourself comfortable. But comfortable is impossible. The penthouse is too quiet, too luxurious. Naomi unpacks her meager belongings. They look pathetic in the massive closet, and tries not to feel like she's entered a cage made of silk. That night, she starts writing in her diary. Old habit from childhood, the one thing that's always helped her process. Day 1 in the penthouse. I don't understand this arrangement. Min-jun is nothing like I expected. Not predatory, not inappropriate, just distant. He looks at me like I'm a puzzle he's trying to solve. Like I matter somehow, which is impossible because he doesn't know me. But I catch him watching sometimes when he thinks I'm not paying attention. It should scare me. Instead, it makes me feel seen for the first time in years. She locks the diary in her dresser drawer and falls asleep to city lights. The first month passes in strange routine. Morning lessons where Min-jun proves to be an excellent student. His English is already fluent. He just wants polish for negotiations. He's intensely focused, never wastes time, asks sharp questions. But there are small things. The kitchen stocks foods she mentioned liking once in passing. Her bathroom fills with hair products for natural black hair. Expensive brands she'd never buy herself. When she catches a cold, a doctor appears at the penthouse within an hour. You didn't need to do that, she says, clutching tissues. You're my employee. I take care of what's mine. He says it casually, already turning away, but the words lodge in her chest. Mine. She writes about it that night. He said mine today. Not like possession, like responsibility. Like I'm something valuable he's protecting. I shouldn't like how that sounds. I shouldn't lie awake wondering what it would feel like if he meant it differently. 2 months in, everything changes. Min-jun comes home late, blood on his knuckles. Naomi's reading in the living room when he walks in. She's on her feet immediately. What happened? Nothing. He heads toward his bedroom. That's blood. I'm aware. Let me, Naomi. He stops, doesn't turn around. This is the part of my life you don't ask about. Understood. She should agree. Should retreat. Instead, she follows him. His bedroom is as minimalist as the rest of the penthouse, except for the first aid kit on his nightstand, like injuries are routine. He's running water over his knuckles when she appears in his doorway. You don't listen well, he observes. Sit down. I'll clean it properly. Their eyes meet in the mirror. Something crackles between them. He sits. Naomi kneels beside him, carefully cleaning split knuckles. His hands are elegant, strong, trembling slightly under her touch. You should be afraid of me, Min-jun says quietly. Are you dangerous? Very. To me. His jaw tightens. Never. She finishes bandaging, but doesn't move away. What do you really do, Min-jun? Things that would send you running. His voice is rough. Things that mean people who get close to me become targets. Is that why you're always alone? Yes. He finally looks at her directly. And why you should keep your distance. But his hand catches hers, holds on. Naomi writes it all down that night. Emotions spilling across pages. Confusion, attraction, the terrifying realization that she's falling for her employer. The most dangerous man she's ever met, who looks at her like she's precious. She locks the diary in her dresser drawer. She doesn't know that Min-jun has keys to every lock in the penthouse. Doesn't know he's been reading her words for weeks. Now how long? Naomi's voice shakes. Min-jun leans back in his desk chair, her diary between them. Since the first entry, the housekeeping staff reports anything unusual. They mentioned the locked drawer. So you invaded my privacy. Yes. That's necessary. His voice is steady, but his eyes burn. You live in my home. I need to know everything. Every thought, every feeling, every potential vulnerability. That's not normal. Nothing about my life is normal. He stands, rounding the desk. Do you understand what you've written here, Naomi? You've documented feelings that make you a target. Anyone who read this would know exactly how to hurt me. By hurting me, she whispers. Yes. He stops inches away. So no, you're not leaving this penthouse. Not until I've eliminated every threat. Not until you're safe. You can't keep me prisoner. Watch me. His hand cups her jaw, thumb brushing her cheekbone. You wrote that you wonder what I taste like. That you dream about me. That you'd let me ruin you. Heat floods her face. Min-jun, you want honesty? His voice drops. I've been obsessed with you since I saw you singing to that woman's daughter at the shelter. You didn't know I was watching. You were kind when no one was looking. And I decided right then, I'd have you. Whatever it took. The tutoring position was an excuse to keep you close. To keep you safe in my space where I control everything. He leans closer. I'm not a good man, Naomi. But I'm yours. And you're not leaving. Naomi should be terrified. Instead, her pulse races with something closer to exhilaration. This is insane, she breathes. Completely. Min-jun's thumb traces her bottom lip. Tell me to stop. Tell me you want to leave, and I'll arrange protection, a new apartment, everything you need. But I'll still have you followed. I'll still know where you are every moment. Because the alternative, you being vulnerable, unprotected, isn't something I can survive. You barely know me. I know you take your coffee with too much sugar. That you cried during romantic movies. That you send half your salary to your mother in Atlanta even though she doesn't ask. That you're terrified of thunderstorms but won't admit it. His eyes hold hers. I know you wrote that you trust me with your life. Did you mean it? She did. She does. Yes. Then trust me now. Stay. Let me keep you safe. From what? His expression darkens. From the people who'd use you against me. My world isn't business negotiations and investments, Naomi. It's territory, leverage, violence. My family controls half of Seoul's underground networks. We've had that power for 3 generations, and we maintain it through reputation and ruthlessness. You're telling me you're a criminal. I'm telling you I'm the man who decides what crimes happen in this city. He releases her, steps back. I've kept that separate from you deliberately. But yesterday, someone photographed you leaving the penthouse. By evening, 3 rival families knew Kang Min-jun had a weakness living under his roof. Naomi's stomach drops. So this is my fault. No. The word cracks like a whip. This is the inevitable result of me being selfish. Of me wanting something beautiful in my life instead of just violence and strategy. He runs a hand through his hair, composure fracturing. I should send you away. Should cut all ties. Let you disappear somewhere I've never been. That's what a good man would do. But I'm not capable of it. His voice is raw. I've tried. Every rational part of me says let go. And then I read your words about feeling safe with me, and I burn the entire world down rather than lose that. Naomi crosses to him, decision crystallizing. Then don't let go. You don't understand what you're agreeing to. Explain it to me. So he does. They sit in his office as dawn colors the windows, and Min-jun lays out the architecture of his life. The Kang family's rise through Seoul's criminal underworld. The networks of protection, smuggling, information trading. How his father built an empire on fear, and Min-jun inherited it at 25 when a rival family's assassination attempt killed both parents. I was supposed to be a lawyer, he says quietly. I had acceptances to universities in America. But duty doesn't care about plans. Do you regret it? I regret what it's cost me. Connection. Trust. The ability to care about someone without calculating their vulnerability. He meets her eyes. Until you're the first person in a decade I've wanted without strategy. Just want it. The diary entries destroyed me. His laugh is bitter. Reading that you wondered if I was lonely. If anyone saw past the reputation to the man. I wanted to break into your room and prove I was exactly that lonely. Exactly that desperate to be seen. He stands, starts pacing. Instead, I had security tripled. Had my brother Taeyang investigate everyone you've ever known. Had contingency plans drawn up for 16 different threat scenarios. That's insane. I know. He stops at the window, silhouette against Seoul's skyline. But you wrote that you'd never felt safer than in this penthouse. That you trusted me. And I needed to be worthy of that. Even if it meant becoming your cage. Naomi joins him at the window. What if I don't want to be caged? What if I want to stand beside you instead? You be a target. I'm already a target. You said so yourself. She touches his arm, feels him tense. So teach me. Show me your world. Let me choose it with full understanding. Naomi. You. Read my diary. You know I'm falling for you. Stop trying to protect me from that. Her voice strengthens. I grew up in Atlanta projects. I survived an abusive relationship. I'm not naive. I'm not fragile. I'm a black woman who's been underestimated her whole life. Don't you do it too. Something shifts in his expression. Surprise, then respect, then heat. If you stay, everything changes. I won't be distant anymore. I won't pretend this is just employer and employee. Good. I'll be possessive. Demanding. I'll need to know where you are, who you're with. I'll have men guarding you constantly. Okay. And I'll want you. Not eventually. Now. Her breath catches. Then have me. He kisses her like he's been starving for it. Desperate and controlled at once, his hands framing her face with a gentleness that contradicts the hunger in his mouth. Naomi melts into him, fingers clutching his shirt, letting herself fall into the want she's been denying for months. When they break apart, both breathing hard, Min-jun rests his forehead against hers. Last chance to run. Not going anywhere. The next week, he introduces her to his world in careful increments. She meets Taeyeon, his younger brother and second in command, charming, American-educated, who grins when he sees them together. Finally, Taeyeon says in English, "He's been impossible since you moved in. All brooding and distracted." "I don't brood," Min-jun says flatly. "You absolutely brood." Taeyeon winks at Naomi. "He had your background checked by 4 different agencies. Made me personally verify your ex-boyfriend wouldn't be an issue." "An issue how?" Naomi asks carefully. The brothers exchange glances. "He's been discouraged from traveling internationally," Taeyeon says diplomatically. Naomi's eyes widen. "You didn't. We made sure he understands that bothering you would be extremely unwise," Min-jun says. "He's unharmed. Just educated." It should disturb her. Instead, she feels lighter, like a weight she's carried for years just evaporated. She meets other members of Min-jun's organization, always in controlled settings, always with him at her side. They're respectful, careful around her. She realizes they're not afraid of Min-jun. They're afraid of disappointing him. There's loyalty there, not just fear. "Your father ruled through terror," she observes one night, "and died because of it." Fear breeds betrayal. Min-jun traces patterns on her arm. They're on the penthouse couch, tangled together, a routine they've fallen into. "I rule through certainty. Everyone knows exactly what I expect, what I'll tolerate, what happens when lines are crossed. There's no confusion. Is that what I am? A line you crossed. You're the line I cross everything for." He pulls her closer. "I'm not good at this, at being soft, at letting someone in, but you make me want to try." She kisses his jaw. "You're better at it than you think." But the peace doesn't last. The attack comes on a Tuesday. Naomi's at the shelter. Min-jun finally agreed she could volunteer again, with security shadowing her. She's in the basement sorting donations when she hears shouting upstairs. Glass breaking. Screams. She runs toward the noise. The main floor is chaos. 3 men in masks, one holding Director Park by the arm. The women and children are huddled in a corner, terrified. The lead man sees Naomi, grins. There she is. Kang's pet. Everything goes cold. "Let them go," Naomi says steadily. "Your issue is with me." "Smart girl." He shoves Director Park aside. "You're coming with us. Message for your boyfriend." Naomi's security detail bursts through the front door. Too late. The masked man has a knife to her throat. Everyone freezes. "Back off," he growls. Where she bleeds. Naomi's training from Min-jun kicks in. He'd made her learn self-defense, basic pressure points, how to create opportunities. She'd complained it was paranoid. Now she's grateful. She goes limp suddenly, dead weight. The man's grip shifts, just for a second. She drives her elbow into his solar plexus, drops, rolls away. Her security doesn't hesitate. The confrontation is over in seconds. By the time Min-jun arrives, the attackers are restrained, and Naomi's shaking on the shelter steps. He's out of his car before it fully stops, pulling her into his arms with a desperation that betrays his usual control. "Are you hurt?" His hands are everywhere, checking for injuries. "I'm fine." "Min-jun, I'm fine." "You're not fine." His voice cracks. "They put a knife to your throat." He can't finish, just holds her tighter. "But I'm okay. You trained me. I created an opening." She pulls back to meet his eyes. "I'm not helpless." "I know." He kisses her forehead, her cheeks, her mouth. "I know. But seeing you in danger is part of your world. Our world." She cups his face. "I chose this, remember? I chose you." In the car heading back, Min-jun's phone rings continuously. He ignores it until Taeyeon's name appears. "Yum, we have a problem." Taeyeon's voice is tight. The attack was coordinated. 6 other businesses with Kang connections were hit simultaneously. Someone's making a move. Min-jun's expression goes arctic. Who? Park Ji-hoon. He's been building alliances. He thinks you're vulnerable now. Because of me? Naomi whispers. Min-jun's hand finds hers, squeezes. No. Because he's an idiot who doesn't understand what he's awakened. To Taeyeon, call everyone. Meeting in 2 hours. Full organizational response. He hangs up, turns to Naomi. This isn't your fault. He attacked because of me. He attacked because I've been consolidating power, cutting into his territory. You're the excuse, not the reason. Min-jun's voice is steel. And now he's given me justification to end him. The meeting at the Penthouse is intense. 24 men in suits, laptops and documents spreading across Min-jun's dining table. Naomi stays in the background, watching her gentle lover transform into something else. A leader commanding absolute respect, making decisions with ruthless efficiency. Park wants a war, Min-jun says. We'll give him one. But we'll win it in 48 hours, not 48 days. Taeyeon, financial pressure. I want his accounts frozen, his assets seized. Junaseo, his distribution network, shut it down. Every warehouse, every connection. Sang-min, leverage. Find me something on every ally he's recruited. They turn on him or they go down with him. The men disperse with military precision. When they're alone, Min-jun sags slightly. Naomi goes to him, wraps her arms around him from behind. You're exhausted, she murmurs. I'm furious. He turns in her embrace. He put his hands on you. He terrorized innocent women and children to send me a message. There's no scenario where he survives this intact. What are you going to do? Whatever necessary. His eyes are dark, dangerous. I need you to stay here. Don't leave the Penthouse. I'll have additional security. I'm not hiding. Naomi, I said I chose this world. That includes the ugly parts. She holds his gaze. Let me stand with you. Publicly. Show him that targeting me was the worst mistake he ever made. Absolutely not. Why? Because I'm weak? Because you're everything. His voice breaks. Because if something happened to you while you were proving a point, I'd raise this city to ash. She kisses him softly. Then trust that I'm strong enough to stand beside you. That we're stronger together than we are with you trying to shield me. He stares at her for a long moment. Then, slowly nods. The next morning, Min-jun takes Naomi to breakfast at Seoul's most exclusive restaurant. It's a statement. Appearing in public, visibly together, her hand in his as cameras flash. Every major player in Seoul's underworld will see the photos within an hour. The message is clear. Naomi isn't hidden. She's claimed. You're insane, Taeyeon mutters, joining them with additional security. Park will see this as a provocation. Good. Min-jun's arm stays around Naomi's shoulders. Let him come at me directly instead of targeting innocents. The response is immediate. By afternoon, Park sends word through intermediaries. He wants a meeting. Neutral ground, just the two of them. It's a trap, Taeyeon says flatly. Obviously, Min-jun is already preparing, which is why I'm bringing insurance. The meeting place is a private room in a traditional restaurant. Min-jun enters with Naomi beside him. Park's eyes widen when he sees her. You brought her. Park's Korean is sharp. Min-jun translates quietly for Naomi. My partner goes where I go. Min-jun's voice is deadly calm. You wanted to discuss terms. Discuss. Park's face reddens. You're soft, Kang. Your father would be ashamed. Parading a foreign woman around like she's. Choose your next words carefully, Min-jun interrupts. They determine whether you leave this room intact. Tension crackles. Park's hand moves toward his jacket. Min-jun doesn't flinch. You're outnumbered. My men are positioned at every exit. Your own bodyguards have been replaced. You have two choices. Negotiate, or confirm that you're too stupid to deserve the territory you hold. Park's hand stops. Calculation flickers across his face. What do you want? He finally asks. Complete withdrawal from Gangnam and Itaewon. Public acknowledgement that the Kang family has primary authority over all waterfront operations. And a formal apology to my partner for yesterday's incident. That's everything. That's mercy. Min-jun leans forward. The alternative is I dismantle your entire organization over the next week. Your choice. The negotiations last 3 hours. Naomi watches Min-jun operate. Brilliant, ruthless, never raising his voice but commanding absolute attention. Park tries various angles, looking for weaknesses. He finds none. Finally, defeated, Park agrees to terms. The formal contract is signed with witnesses. Park's gaze slides to Naomi. "You've made him weak," he says in heavily accented English. Naomi smiles. "No, I've made him honest about what matters. That's much more dangerous." Outside, Min-jun exhales slowly. "That was incredible." Naomi grins. "You destroyed him without throwing a punch. Not my preferred method. But you're right. We're stronger together." He pulls her close. "Thank you. For standing with me. For not letting me push you away. Always." The next weeks transform everything. Park's territory gets absorbed peacefully. Min-jun's organization strengthens. And Naomi becomes a visible presence. Not hidden, not protected in ignorance, but genuinely partnered. She starts working with the shelter again, but now with resources. Min-jun funnels money through legitimate channels, funding expansion, security improvements, education programs. Naomi becomes the bridge between his world and the community that needs protection. "You're good at this," Taeyeon observes one afternoon, watching her coordinate a fundraiser. "Legitimizing us. I'm not making him legitimate. I'm making his power useful." She smiles. "There's a difference." One evening, 3 months after the diary incident, Min-jun comes home early. Naomi's curled on the couch reading, city lights twinkling beyond the windows. He sits beside her, unusually quiet. "What's wrong?" she asks. "Nothing's wrong. That's the problem." He takes her hand. "I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. For you to realize what you've tied yourself to and leave. But you're still here. I'm not going anywhere. Even though I invaded your privacy, manipulated circumstances to keep you close. Even though." She sets her book aside. "You're not perfect, Min-jun. You're controlling and paranoid, and you make decisions without consulting me sometimes. But you're also kind when you think no one's watching. You visit the shelter kids and let them climb on you. You made sure my mother's house got a new roof and pretended you had nothing to do with it. You knew about that." She sent pictures. "The contractor's logo was one of your subsidiary companies." Naomi touches his face. "You're a good man doing bad things for complicated reasons. I've made peace with that. I don't deserve you." "Probably not." She grins. "But you're stuck with me anyway." He kisses her, soft and reverent. "I need to ask you something." "Okay." Min-jun pulls back, reaches into his pocket, opens a small box. The ring inside is stunning. A deep blue sapphire surrounded by diamonds. The band engraved with Korean characters. "It means chosen," he says quietly. "Because that's what you are. Not something I took or manipulated into my life. Something I chose, and that chose me back." He takes a shaky breath. "Marry me. For real. Forever. Build this life with me." Tears blur Naomi's vision. "Yes." He slides the ring on, and it fits perfectly. Of course it does. He's probably had her ring size for months. "I had it made the week after I read your first diary entry," he admits. "The one where you said you felt safe here. I knew then I'd never let you go." That's incredibly presumptuous. And accurate. He pulls her into his lap. "I love you, Naomi. I'll probably always be too possessive, too protective. But I'll spend the rest of my life making sure you never regret choosing me. I love you too, even when you're being impossible." They marry 6 weeks later. Small ceremony. Just Taeyeon and a few trusted friends. Naomi wears traditional Korean hanbok in deep burgundy. Min-jun's ring heavy and perfect on her finger. Her mother flies in from Atlanta, crying happy tears, completely unaware of her son-in-law's real occupation. "He's in investments," Naomi explains. "He's in love with you," her mother corrects. "That's what matters." A year later, Naomi runs a foundation supporting immigrant women and children throughout Seoul, funded by Min-jun's network. She's learned fluent Korean, navigated the complex politics of his world, and become known as the woman who humanized Kang Min-jun. "You didn't humanize me," he says one morning over breakfast. Naomi looks up from her coffee. "No, you made me want to be human again." He's reading the newspaper, hair mussed, glasses perched on his nose, so different from the cold boss she first met. "You reminded me there's more to life than power and survival." Getting philosophical on me? Getting honest. He sets down the paper. "I read something this morning. A profile on your foundation. They quoted a woman you helped. She said you taught her that leaving isn't weakness, it's strength. That choosing yourself is brave. And I realized that's what you did for me too. You walked away from me that first day when I tried to control the narrative. You've walked away every time I've tried to make decisions without consulting you. You taught me that real partnership means respecting someone's autonomy, not managing it. Naomi reaches across the table, takes his hand. You've learned well. I had a good teacher. He stands, pulls her up with him. Come here. They stand at the penthouse windows overlooking Seoul, the city that brought them together, tested them, ultimately gave them this improbable love. Do you remember what you wrote in your diary? Min-jun asks. The entry that changed everything? That I wondered if you were lonely? If anyone saw the real you? That you'd let me ruin you? His arms wrap around her from behind. That you trusted me enough to let me in completely, even though it scared you. I was right to be scared. You did ruin me. She leans back against him. Ruin me for anyone else. For any life that doesn't include you being impossible and protective and occasionally reading my private thoughts. I stopped reading your diary. I know. I left it open on purpose last week to test you. He laughs. Rare, genuine, the sound she lives for. What did it say? That I'm happy. That I found home in the last place I expected. That loving you is the best terrible decision I ever made. Should I be insulted by terrible decision? You locked me in a penthouse for my own protection. It's at least a little terrible. Fair point. He kisses her temple. For the record, you're the best terrible decision I ever made too. The one that saved me from becoming my father. From letting this life consume everything human in me. You were never going to become him. I was. Until you. He turns her to face him. I spent so long controlling everything, trusting no one. And then you wrote those words, that you felt safe with me, and it undid every defense I'd built. Made me want to be the man you saw, not the monster everyone else feared. You're not a monster. I'm a man who does monstrous things. But you make me want to balance it with good. To use this power to protect, not just dominate. Naomi cups his face. That's all I ever wanted. Not to change you. Just to remind you who you are underneath the reputation. They hold each other as Seoul wakes up beneath them. Millions of lives intersecting. Everyone chasing their own version of happiness. Naomi thinks about the girl who ran from Atlanta with nothing but fear and determination. Who ended up in a penthouse with a dangerous man who read her diary and decided she was worth burning the world for. No regrets. Min-jun asks quietly. Not one. She kisses him. You're stuck with me, Kang Min-jun. For life. Promise. Forever promise. And she means it. Through continued challenges, cultural obstacles, the occasional crisis that comes with loving a man who runs Seoul's underground, they remain utterly devoted. Min-jun, who never trusted anyone, learned to share his burdens. Naomi, who spent years making herself small, learned to take up space beside him. Their story becomes legend. The nursing shelter volunteer and the crime boss. The woman who walked away from disrespect straight into the arms of the city's most dangerous man. The diary that was never meant to be read, but changed everything. On their second,